So we are recording, and so what I'll do is just be thinking of your questions, but I'm going to walk us through just some new learnings to make sure we are maximizing our Marbleism. And this is all about implementation. So any questions you have, let me know. And we're going to be talking about a 24/7 sales machine today. So let's get to questions first. If you have any questions, and then I'll walk you through how to interact for your sales and follow up and all of that stuff with Linda, with Sunny, and with Eva. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and just pull up my Marbleism here. All right, wonderful, y'all. So first, I want to make sure that we are clear about how many workspaces you may need, because that was confusing to me at first, because I was like, I only need a workstation for every email, but you need a workstation for every stand. And what I mean by that is you may have different things that you're doing in your business, or doing, in Ruby's case, for her business she's a part of. And let's say you are marketing the online learning center, and you're marketing a live event, and you're marketing general services for an organization. You will probably want to do 3 different workspaces, because Stan can only email out to a particular target market. And so if you have multiple target markets inside the same business, I would suggest to set up a different workspace. And what's powerful about that is that workspace can still be attached to social media. You can turn on Eva as the executive assistant. You do have to connect an email, but she's not checking them or anything. It's just to use in the back end. So I have one main Eva checking emails. I call her kind of my master Eva for my Convergence Center. And then she's just there so everything else works. Because really, Eva is not just an email checker. She is your chief of staff. So let's start there. Is everybody clear about how many workspaces they need? Hey, Monica, glad you're on. Hey, Darlene. Are we clear? Any questions there? Go ahead, Leslie.
I think so. So just to kind of understand how you're working with them. So, for example, if I have my primary business, but if I had a little side project, or like kind of a test market, let's say, that's probably a good way to describe it. I could set up a really basic workspace that would only activate probably Stan and Sunny, right? Because I might want to do some social media for it. Activate Eva, but she's only because she can communicate between the two.
You got it.
Okay.
You got it. So if I look here, I've got 9 different workspaces, and it's not by business, it's by what I'm marketing. So I have one for my speaking, because that's going to go to meeting planners. That's a different market that I have Stan looking for. I've got one for my courses. That's a different market than even what I have for the Alliance. And so just be thinking in terms of that, because I don't know how long they're going to keep workspaces free of charge and unlimited, but I want us to take advantage of that, because I think it's really amazing.
Good point.
All right, so that's first. Second thing I want to make sure we're doing is we're understanding that Eva is not just an AI assistant. She is your chief of staff. So I participate in some Marbleism trainings and bring it back to you all. And one of my colleagues was talking about, I'm sorry, I want to get in the right workspace for you guys. She was talking about how she has 11 workspaces, and every Monday morning she goes through with every Eva and has a meeting similar to what we teach in the Alliance. Have your L10 meeting, but you're having it with your staff, your chief of staff for each of your Marbleisms. And you're letting Eva know, hey, Eva, this is what I have going on this week. I need this many blog posts, these graphics done, this many emails. I need you to ask, whatever it is. So I'm going back. So I uploaded our chapter schedule for the Alliance in the Knowledge Brain. And I'm like, every month, this is every week I need you to produce all of this based on what's happening. And I connected her to the document in the knowledge base. I said, here's the document. I'm trying to get back to it. So she just did it all for me right here. So here's what I need. I'm going back up, y'all. Sorry, I'm going kind of fast, but I'm trying to get to, so I'm trying to get to, here we go. Let me go up. So I told her, this is what I need. I need everything for the whole week, Eva. So she did the blog post, the 3 email sequence. She put it all right there. The LinkedIn expert post, the Diamond Network post, my blog thing. All I did was tell one Eva as my chief of staff what I needed. And she made sure that everything happened. And she did it right here in the chat with her. So I want to make sure, because prior to that, I was kind of going over to Sunny, telling Sunny what I needed, telling Penny what I needed. But now just tell Eva what you need, and then she will manage it and go grab it from everybody and put it right here. So to me, that's a game changer. So if you've got multiple workspaces, take 20 or 30 minutes every Monday and tell it what you need. This is coming up. This is what we need. Can you please make sure I've got this? Can you check this? All of that stuff needs to happen. So that's really important, you all. So we are maximizing Eva as a chief of staff. Just like you would sit down with your executive assistant and say, hey, here's everything that's happening. I need you to take care of it. That's what she does.
Question around that. I kind of discovered this morning because I was using Eva to direct Penny and Sunny. And then, because I had really only been using them kind of independently. And so it got a little confusing though, and I clarified with Eva because now everything was in the Eva chat, whereas I was used to going over to Sunny. And maybe you haven't played with this enough. Does it still, like, I'm concerned about it getting lost in the sauce with all that scrolling then in the Eva chat.
You can, my drafts are still in my Sunny, I believe.
Sunny.
But you can always tell Eva, hey, Eva, can you put these over? Can you make sure they don't get lost and they're in my draft post where in Sunny's draft post?
Okay.
Just let her know. And then, let's see, if that's something you want on a regular basis, you don't want to have to keep asking, that means it goes in the guidelines and it goes in the brain. After you create my stuff, can you put it back over in Penny's blog post and make sure Stan has it Sunny, has it in the drafts. That's all you got to do.
Right. And then can you clarify, like, guidelines versus memories? Because I know last week you shared that the guidelines, like, we can certainly add to the guidelines, but that's something that each employee is also kind of picking up as they go along because they're learning. Yeah. But what would you consider? Because of course there's the brain, but then there's certain things that you want as memories. Like, how do you really differentiate? Or is some of it definitely an overlap?
There's some overlap, but how I differentiate, if it's something you just need one employee to know, that's in the guidelines, right?
Yep.
You just need one employee to know. Or if Eva forgets, right? Like, because it was 3 weeks ago, you told her to do that. She was doing it for the last 2 weeks and then she forgot. And it's in the guidelines. That means you need to put that in the brain. If there's anything you need to discuss or you need all of your or multiple of your employees to understand, that's the brain. Because remember, the brain is for the workspace. The guidelines is for the individual employee, unless it's something you're like, I never ever want you to forget this again. Then you put that in the brain. And the guidelines, as I mentioned, as Leslie was talking about, they're developing themselves as I have preferences. So
the workspace equals the brain.
Yep.
The guidelines equals employee. And then what about the memories?
That's part of the brain.
It's in the brain. Ah, got you. Okay.
Yeah. If you look here, the brain has all the memories, the images, the web pages, and the documents.
Got it.
Yep. And just how I think of it is, as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we're like, I don't want to have to say this again.
Right.
I need you to understand that I don't like, I don't know why, but Eva's been putting bam in some of my emails, like bam, which is not even something I say, like, good job, bam. And I'm like, okay, I need you to never put bram in an email again. And so I put it in the guidelines, but just in case, I put it in the memories. I need you to remember this so I don't have to say it again. So when you're like, I don't want to have to repeat myself again, that's how you know it goes pop it in the brain just in case.
Okay.
Yeah. And typically the brain is designed, Leslie, for multiple employees to understand that. Instead of you before we had to go into Sunny and tell Sunny, then we had to go into Eva and tell Eva, then we had to go into Penny and tell Penny. Now you can put it in the brain and identify which employees you need to know those things.
Oh, okay.
So if you, like, I'm like, get my logo right.
The little tags down there.
Yeah, so when you do that, it's going to ask you at the, let me put this up on the top, sorry. It's going to ask you at the bottom, because one of the things we found is that Sunny was just making random logos, right? And I'm like, okay, dude, I'm going to need you not to do that. So here's the logo, and then who am I communicating that to? I wanted everybody to know, but probably, Rachel's not activated on that. She doesn't need to know. And Stan probably doesn't need to know. And then you just hit apply changes, and it speaks to that particular set of employees inside of that workspace.
Okay, that's super helpful. And then within this, can you organize things like in a folder, or right now it's just whatever gets dumped in there, it's dumped in there?
Let's see. It looks like...
I mean, it does group it, because you've got, obviously, memories, images.
Yeah, I don't see where there's folders.
Maybe that's coming. I feel like that'd be helpful, but okay.
You can search it, though, which is good. You can search if you're looking for something in particular. But I don't see where there's folders. But...
I find it interesting. I noticed when I was adding pictures, like it says Ericka in green dress there. Like when I was uploading images, like it has my image name or number from my computer, but it immediately changed it where it's giving a description to what it thinks my image looks like. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Isn't that interesting? A confident businesswoman in a green dress with silvery short hair and statement glasses. Yeah. Yes. I didn't do any of that. So it does do that. But anywho, I'm not sure how it uses that, but I guess, it tells it if I'm telling it to grab certain images. And then one of the things they added since last week, you all, if you are using your Rachel Receptionist, which I believe everybody should, it is amazing. If you have not tested your Rachel, you can be very specific with them. Like you can say, use this document or this picture, use this Ericka in a green dress with excitement cropped for this image, and then Sunny will redesign it with that particular image. Like you can be that specific, telling it what you want from the brain. And if you're using your Receptionist Rachel, you can be very specific go to this document if someone asks that, whatever that is. Okay, so let me make sure all of our general questions are answered, and then we'll jump into sales here. Ruby, Darlene, Monica, do you guys have any specific questions?
Nope.
Ruby, you good? You good? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Ruby, you're just wanting to learn the sales stuff, or is there any other questions or use cases well, if there is, just jump in, let us know. All right, y'all. So now we're going to talk about activating our sales machine. And so what we want to do, I'm assuming you are already getting what you need. You're using, speaking with Eva as your chief executive, your chief of staff, excuse me. And so now Stan is the main guy who is going to help you with your leads and your sales machine. And so what you want to make sure you do, of course, it's covering all my stuff here. Let me get to the right place. What you want to make sure is you're onboarding your stands is a couple of things. You're going to want to think about, obviously, what is your target market? He's going to help you identify that and use language for that target market. That is how he's trained. So the first thing you want to do is go into Stan and go into your settings. And then you're going to be very specific about who you are trying to reach. In my case, this is for the Alliance. I'm trying to reach owners, founders, different industries I could put in there. If I'm going for corporations that you want to get in front of or get your employer in front of, you're going to click department. Maybe you're speaking, you want it to get to human resources or procurement or whatever it is. And what's the management level you're looking for? What locations? It's not limited to the US. What company size? That's important. Are you looking for a Microsoft-sized corporation of hundreds of thousands of people? Are you looking for a smaller business? What are some keywords? And these things are really important to plan. And you can even ask Stan, what do you think my keywords should be? And what I noticed, he doesn't go in and fill out these settings for you. Even if you put stuff in guidelines, this is where it sticks. And then what keywords would your target market be using? Like entrepreneur should be here for me. So I'm going to put that, because they would identify themselves as entrepreneur. And then NAICS codes. This is really important, actually, y'all. These are the codes that are part of the IRS. They're universal about the types of businesses people are in. So let's say you have all that, but you're like, I really just want to market to restaurants. So you would put restaurants in here, and it would only send it to restaurants and other eating spaces. Or let's say I just want to market to software developers or computer, whatever it is. And you're like, I just want to market to software publishers. So it's not sending it to any and every industry. It's only sending to what you specify in the NAICS codes. And don't ask me what that stands for. I looked it up, but I don't recall at this point. So that's really important to make sure you're getting the right leads. And if you haven't done your settings like that, just go in, and the more niche, the better. And Stan will tell you, if I can't find any more leads in that area, maybe you should expand your target market. And so you've got that in there. And then you want to go ahead and set your outreach capacity. 300 leads per month is free. Your inbox, you want to tell it what inbox to use. I'm using my Microsoft. And then if you want to connect your LinkedIn, he will actually add that as part of the email sequence. And then this is really important. So the preferred lead email. If you are sending to professionals, you will probably want to select under lead email in the settings, professional email only. But if I'm marketing my courses, I'm happy for those to go to individuals. So I would put, for that workspace, I would have best available email. Or let's say you have a personal workspace you set up just to manage you and your family, or you and your husband, or whatever. Then you may just want to use personal emails if you're using your Stan. So that,
Ericka, where are they pulling? Where are they categorizing these emails from? The emails that we provide them? Like, where are they pulling this email from?
wherever their leads are. So, yes,
meaning go get only professional emails. Is that what
right,
is that?
You're telling Stan you only want professional emails. Yes. So for for the Alliance, a little, because we have some solopreneurs that may have a best email. So, but if you're going for a corporation, Monica, like let's say you are, I don't know, wanting to get Queen Care into hotels, you would want to not send Sally Sue to her personal email. You would want it to be her professional email. That tells Stan, skip the Gmail, skip the .hotmail, skip the .yahoos, all or at Yahoo, skip the personal stuff. He's only going to look for professional business names .com, whatever that is.
Got it. And then, so for each of your workspaces, right? Did you get a new email address for each one? For each one of your workspaces? right?
No. Some of them I only use one inbox in my world, and so I have them all connected in that one inbox. But I only have Eva actively doing drafts and stuff in one workspace. So let me finish that, and I'll show you what I mean. And then daily sources. Receive daily lists of leads. If you want a daily list sent to you, you can certainly do that. Otherwise, you would Stan is just going to have them listed under the leads tab. If you go through this leads tab, and find that those leads aren't a fit, like when I was trying to have him market my speaking, he kept doing other speakers at first. And I'm like, no, those are other speakers. I need you to find the meeting planners, meeting professionals. I went back in, revised the NAICS code to be meeting planners and professionals, and that was handled. So he gets most of them from LinkedIn, but I'll see occasional like Google or different things. But most of his stuff is from LinkedIn. So for example, Trinity Business, he has a gmail.com. If I put professional email only, Stan is going to skip that. So there's a Hotmail, there's a Gmail, charter.net, that's a professional one. But, and what I find is for my particular target market, there's going to be some people with some Gmail emails. So I'm putting best available email, but I'm just saying you all do what that particular workspace needs you to do. So Monica, I think what you're asking me, and this was an issue I had to resolve because I worked with customer service on this, because I originally thought I needed a different email for every workspace, and it's not true. So even though it's the Alliance and I've got an alias, it still comes into the same inbox. So my Eva is connected to that inbox in her settings. But so I have the email set up, but I don't have her doing anything in my emails. I just have the email connected so Stan can use it. But I don't have her drafting emails. The only thing that I've noticed that it impacts is typically if I say, Eva, can you draft emails for me for my e-blast? Typically she'll put it in my email draft so she has access. What she said to me, this was just last night, was, hey, since I don't have access to draft emails for you, I put it in, here's the email blast that I wrote for you. And that's it. And then, so I have my account attached, but I've turned off all of her abilities. So she's not doing anything in that email because I don't want her in the same email multiple times. Does that make sense, Monica?
Yes. And then, okay, so then also I'm thinking about like Stan and who is the target market, like, each workspace, I need to set it up that way. I do actually need, another email address. I already have 3 email addresses. I don't want another one, but for my speaking, I can't put it under Queen Care or Life Enrichment Group. It needs to be under me. So I'm wondering so that I can activate Stan under my speaking. I don't necessarily want another email address, but I don't know how to, like...
Where do people reach you right now if they want you to speak?
Either through Life Enrichment Group or Queen Care.
Because I just think having too many emails defeats the purpose, and now we're having to check 3 emails all the time. And we can have Eva help us. Do you have your speaking website yet, Monica?
No.
Okay.
Not yet, but I've been speaking though.
At the point, I wouldn't open, this is my suggestion, you can take it or leave it. I wouldn't open a new email until you have your speaking website set up and you have your URL, like, monicamatthews.com, and then you can say booking at monicamatthews.com when you get that.
Okay.
Versus opening up another email and it's just monicaspeaks@gmail.com. You know what I mean? That's less professional. So I would just wait until you have the website. Until then, they can certainly email you at Queen Care Life Enrichment. Just for that particular sales, hook up either one of those emails. Just turn Eva's capability off so she can just operate as your chief of staff.
Okay, yeah, so still open up the workspace now while I can. Okay, got it.
Yep. And then, yeah, don't worry about that. You all keep it as simple as possible, because I didn't realize you could have Eva's in the same email in multiple workspaces without turning them all on. So I thought that was really great. Leslie,
What do you mean in the same? What do you mean in the same workspace?
Or I'm sorry, in the same account, not workspace. Sorry, in the same account with like
Email account.
Yeah, I could use the same email on. I used the same email on 5 of these different workspaces.
Oh, you did? Okay, all right, got it.
I just have the capabilities turned off, and just so she's not in my emails, she's just communicating with the team.
I see. Okay, got it.
Beautiful. Yes, y'all. Let me make sure, if you need me to slow down and re-explain, that's what we're here for. So you just want to think that through. No need to open new emails, but just, you can always open up, connect Eva to an existing email, just turn off her capabilities in terms of your email communication.
So
All
when
right.
you were explaining just a moment ago how you were using one of your Evas to draft an email, it sounded like you were using the one that wasn't hooked up.
Yes.
Because we can still use them because she's connected to that information for that brand. It's just more the language. She got confused because she doesn't have access. She can still do it. You're not directing your chief of staff, Eva, to draft for your other workspace, right?
No, she could only, right.
Okay.
You have a chief of staff per workspace.
But when you were speaking about the one that got confused because you had toggled off, that was in the separate workspace. When I'm saying chief of staff, yes, they're all chief of staff, but you have like your executive Eva that you're the only one that you're using to have all those email toggles, right?
Yes.
She's like chief of staff.
There you go. Okay.
But you can still have the other Evas, the little minion Evas, drafting emails, but I'm confused now.
No. The only difference is in my big Eva, right? My master Eva, she can actually draft them directly in my email because I've given her access to my email inbox.
Right. You showed us that last week. So yeah. Okay. And they're drafting theirs in the chat, and then you're just going to paste it over.
Exactly. And so for Evas that don't have access to my inbox, she's just going to put whatever I need right here in the chat.
Yep. Got it. Okay.
So I was asking. Yeah, I was actually asking her I have to take it and put it in my eBlast system anyway. So I wouldn't have used it in my inbox.
True.
And so, yes. And so you all, what you want to be clear about to start creating a sales generating machine is now you've got your eBlast going out, assuming you've got an e-list. And then you've got your Stan working on these. And I want to tell you guys a really important thing to do, because you may get an email back that says, please remove me from your list, or I'm not interested. You want to tell your Eva to always have Stan remove those from the list. So how do I put this? It's in a workspace for one of my brothers, and I'm not going to jump in it. But basically, someone got an email from Stan, and they responded to that email, which went into the inbox, and it said, hey, can you remove us from your list? Of course, I don't want you on my list if you don't want to be there. So, but it's in my email. So other than me having to go in and look in that lead and go to my leads and look through these 9,000 or 700 leads Stan has for me and then delete it, I can tell Eva if anybody emails me and asks to be removed from the list or not to be contacted again, please have Stan remove those emails from the list. And what I was told is put it in, because it's Eva and Stan that need to communicate, you've got to put that in the brain. So then your e-list stays up to date. He's not emailing people that don't want to be emailed from you. All right.
Erica, real quick,
Yeah.
before you said about staying with the leads, you said something about your e-list blast. So you're having Penny send out blogs to your e-list, or are you just talking about your regular promotions that you have going out?
I'm having them draft all those emails.
Okay. And then how often are you communicating with your e-list?
I'm picking that back up where I need to be at least sending something out once a week.
Once a week. Okay.
And so I've told Eva, make sure here's the topics we're focusing on in the Alliance. Here's what I want my social media posts around. Do my emails around this, and do the chapter invite emails. So I let her know all of that. I put it in the guidelines and the brain, since they all have to understand that I need that every week and I don't want to ask again. I just need them to do it. And Eva, can you make sure it gets done every week and it's sent to me on Mondays? And so this is an example of an email she wrote. I'm going to copy and paste this into my Kartra, or whatever you may use, MailChimp, or whatever you need, whatever you use to send your e-blast out, because they're not attached to your e-blast system.
Okay, that was my next question. Yeah, and that's why I'm excited, because I think at the conference they said that soon they'll be able to connect to Square.
Yes, I think that was when they bring out the CFO employee. But yeah, I think it's cleaner this way, because I have other stuff, and then you need to get into the AI stuff, and are there back-end APIs and do all. I just think it's cleaner this way. And so I can copy and paste it, put it into Kartra with no problem.
So then when you get the stands, the leads from Stan, right? What do you do with those? You have Eva draft email for them to go out to them, or you put whatever contact inside of your e-list that Stan gets?
What I would do, so my email sequence, Stan is sending out the emails. So you each, I'm glad you said that, because I want to make sure we're clear. So Stan does two things. He goes and gets leads for you, but he also reaches out to them one by one as if it's you. And so you want to work on your email sequence. And so he's going to enroll the leads he finds. Once you make sure he's nailing the leads, we got it right. Then, Monica, you go into the email sequence right here, and then you design, he's going to write an email, but you design the email that you want him to send. And what I found is his stuff is pretty straightforward, and I feel like he asks for a meeting too soon. So I'm like, no, Stan, I need you to read. I haven't executed this one yet, but no, Stan, go back, and I want you to create a 5 email sequence that gives them added value, sends them a blog notice, whatever, like, how do you add value first? And so then you would put that in there, and then if I change it, it would have me save it. And then it's in that step, Monica. So it's whatever I told him to say. And then wait 2 days. I want him to send a second email. And then wait 3 days.
Did you tell him, you put that sequence today that you want him to wait 2 days, or is that what he automatically does?
I told him to wait the usual number of days, or, the expected number of days. Or I could put wait 12 days. I could wait 365 days.
But this is the standard, essentially. So we need to put that too, right? So that you follow up, email, and then you wait 2 days, and then send something else, and then wait 3 days. That's just like the standard.
Well, on average, you don't want to be emailing somebody every day. You can tell it to do, you tell it the number of days. I stand corrected, y'all. It goes 1 through 30. So you can't set an existing date, because the point of this is frequent contact. So if you're like at the end of it, you could put 12 emails in here if you want, however many you want, and have it connect with somebody for the year, whatever you want. You tell it how long to wait in between 1 day or 30 days, Monica.
Right, because you're trying to get them to email back. I see. Okay.
Right, and then Eva's checking the emails, and then, you can tell Eva, hey, Eva, when someone emails me back, make a list of those people so I can then, I would make sure I ask them in my email sequence, hey, I would love to add you to my e-list. I send out more than I do here. I would need to ask for their permission. I would tell Eva to make a list of them, and then I would export that list and put it in my Kartra.
Okay, hold on. So when you get, okay, all right, hold on. So Stan sends out the emails. You get you're asking the contact to be a part of your e-list. Is that
at some point I want to do that, because remember, we want them in our e-list. Ultimately, that goal is never changed. They're connecting. We want them to be clients. We want them in our e-list. And so we're working with them. So if they're not ready to order or book me as a speaker, whatever I have them doing, I want to keep them in my e-list.
So both, you're doing both inside of this email, essentially.
Yeah. But I wouldn't ask them right away, like maybe email 3 or 4, say, hey, I'd love to keep in touch. This is the last one in this quick, thing. I'm touching base with you. I would love to add you to my e-list. If you don't want to be added, just reply and let me know. And then,
now, but when you're saying to wait 2 days and sending another email and waiting 3 days, this is assuming that they're not responding, right? Because we're still trying to get them to respond. So you're saying we wouldn't ask them to add to e-list until the last one when we're like, oh, still interested in connecting to the. Okay, I see what you mean.
But that's also a good point, right? Because if they respond, we don't want to be, and then they get the other wait 5-day email. You can tell Eva, if they respond, please have Stan remove them from the email sequence, remove them from his leads list.
Okay, got it.
Because you don't want both. Now you're having a conversation with them, or Eva, and you are in the email are having a conversation with them. You don't want Stan to be sending out the generic email list, because they're like, what the heck? I just talked to her. So yeah, tell Eva, say, Eva, when someone responds, and then tell Stan what to do and remove them from the leads list. Yep. And then you can also add a step, you all. Here you can add, now you can send an invitation to LinkedIn. That's crazy to me that we can do that. So now Stan will go over, since he gets most of his leads from LinkedIn, he will send them an invitation, and you can respond to that invitation right here in Stan. So not only is he reaching out, building your e-list, he is also building your LinkedIn contacts and connections. And you can put however many steps you want in here. Just remember, it doesn't replace your e-blast. This is one-on-one emails. So let's say you already have leads that you're like, oh my goodness, I've got these people that have showed up. We did their taxes last year. We haven't touched base with them. You can actually go into the leads and upload and import your own leads. So then tell Stan, hey Stan, I just uploaded 100 leads. You can upload up to 100 at a time, it's my understanding. I want you to pause the ones you're getting from LinkedIn and just follow up with these people. So now you can use it as an email, like a sales machine. So you're following up with people you haven't touched base with in a while. That's a different e-sequence. You're welcome to go in and change the sequence, unpause it, and it'll start going again. And so you can say, hey, Jenny, it's been a minute since we connected and did your taxes last year. How have you been? What's coming up? Just a few reminders for you, whatever that is. You can go in and update that sequence. But my suggestion is to keep your stands pure, right? So when you set up that outreach, it's just, you've already pre-thought which workspace needs that. Because he doesn't go back and resend the ones he's already sent, right? So yeah, go ahead, Leslie.
So can you have multiple sequences within one stan? You
cannot. And that's why you need multiple workspaces. So it's not like I can be like, okay, I've got these leads, send sequence A to these Stan, sequence B to these people. You can't do that, which is why you have to have a different workspace if you have a different sequence you want to send out.
Right. So like when you're talking about the example you just had of like, oh, I want you to follow up with my current list. They're already on the list. You're pausing the sequence. Now he's just going to kind of like ad hoc to each individual without a sequence. He'll still draft something and you'll approve it, but it's not using.
No, he has to have a sequence. He doesn't do anything ad hoc. So let's say
So were you saying then you're uploading, now you have yet another stan just for that upload?
No, what I would like, because I have 20,000 leads sitting in my close. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Lord, I don't need a ton of new people from LinkedIn. Stan, I need you to use this list. So I uploaded my list. Mm-hmm. And then I changed my sequence to be more of a follow-up sequence from my existing CRM.
Got it.
So
that's how you're using it versus like we might not do that. We're doing more like a welcome sequence. Hopefully.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that he stopped sending to the other ones. It's like, hey, Stan, can you add these to the leads list? Because he's going to do 300 a month for you. And if you send him 300, he's not going to do any more. He'll say, so, and he literally will ask you, so Leslie, you want me to stop sending to the other leads I have in my list and make these a priority? Yes, that's what I want you to do, Stan. Remember, just talk to them. Tell them what you want them to do.
Okay.
And ask. If you're not sure, just ask. They're clear about their capability.
So if you're just building a brand new stan and he's going to start fresh, you've input all the things about your niche, your client, etc. And then you're going to build your sequence. So that initial email is what? Like I know everyone's can be different, but give me like what your basic, I feel like we've been all over.
It's an introduction.
Okay.
I'm reaching out because he's already done it. I'm actually going to change this because I'm not going to ask for a quick chat in the first email. I feel like that's too much. But I would introduce it. And I actually, Leslie, had him write a new one that I haven't put in here yet. It's much more, no, make it more conversational. I want to use this to invite them to chapter meetings. So I would put the link in there. You can't add an attachment, but you can put a link. You can put a link right in here. For example, if you're using this for speaking booking, you want a link to your one sheet summary or your speaking scissor reel. And you would put that in one of these sequences. But just ask Stan to write the sequence for you. Or Eva, either one. She'll have Stan do it.
Got it.
And if it's not in your voice, say, no, this sounds too salesy. I need you to be more conversational, whatever it is. And then you just literally open that. Whoops. You open it up and you just pop it in there. It'll have you save it. And then once that sequence is set, that's what's going to send. Now, if some of the people in your sequence haven't gotten to someone down in here, one of them down in here, you can change it, but it's not going to go back and start a sequence from zero. So what I mean by that, let's say I have 7 emails in here, and it sent out the first 5, and I'm like, oh man, I want to change that 7th email. You can still change it if they haven't received it, or if they're a new lead, they will get it, but it's not going to go back and resend
to someone that already got all 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you could always view the progress. Whoops, he'll let you know what the progress is, and then you're telling him what you want him to do with these leads. In the sequence. So let me pop into the sequence, and I'm telling him, do I want him to auto enroll leads? Leads matching these filtered will be auto enrolled, or if not, then I can go ahead and not auto enroll them and put it that use the ones that that are already in my leads list.
Hold on, these are enrolling into Marvelism. Yes.
No,
So he's
hon.
keeping.
No, this
Oh,
is enrolling into the email sequence for Stan to send an email to.
okay.
And this is, oh, I see. In,
So I'm in the email sequence, and then in the first one, it gives you the parameters to enroll leads. Auto enroll leads. And are there particular
What else would
leads?
they do with it if they didn't like? Okay, this is before Stan sends an email to them, right?
Yes, this is at the beginning when we're telling him what to do. So auto enroll leads means any lead he gets, once you're clear, you got it, go for it. Auto enroll the leads, he's going to automatically do this. And the status is a new lead, or let's say you only want him to do ones that have replied. You can be that specific. Ones that have
where
lost.
is he enrolling them?
He's enrolling them in the email sequence.
Ah,
This is all inside the email sequence of Stan.
what are those choices again? Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. New lead, you could tell them contact people that you've already reached out to. So you have some ability to tell them what you want. Ones that you've lost. I haven't done anything.
Wouldn't you always want it to, like, when would you want it to be anything other than new lead?
Yeah, I don't understand this one because where is he grabbing closed leads from, or lost or followed up leads
Yeah.
from?
I know the contacted one, you all, or he can check contacted replied. He's communicating with Eva. I'm not sure what the closed or lost is. Are those that you have followed up with, or those you have responded to? I don't know what the closed is, to be honest with you guys, or the lost. I don't know how to do
I'm just
those.
wondering, do they keep these leads that we're putting into the email sequence or something? Are they like logging those as like?
They stay in your lead section.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Okay.
And then, so this is the other really important thing. Let's say you have not done your email sequence, because I haven't done all my email sequences, but I've onboarded my Stans. The reason why is because I want him looking for these leads. Mm-hmm. So we have Melissa Livingston, whatever she is. I have not enrolled her in anything yet, but I can enroll her in whatever I want when I get that ready.
Okay, so this is two different parts then. There's Carl, Stan going to get the leads and securing the leads, and then there's an option to put that particular lead through this email sequence that we set.
Yes. And really you want him to do it because you want them. This is how you create that sales machine. You're automating it. But because I haven't done my sequence, I still got the leads here that I can enter into the sequence as soon as I finish it.
Okay, got it. Got it. Can I see your sequence again? Just the first, second, and third email, because I like how you said like connect with, blah blah blah. But then the second
Stan wrote that, Monica. I like the first part, and I like the first part, but I wouldn't ask. Would you be open to a quick chat about how we can help? I wouldn't ask that in the first email. I just wouldn't ask for I get annoyed when people do that to me.
Yeah.
So I would take this part out. You just change it, whatever you want it to say.
I got it. So
and if I want to say, hey, click here to learn more, I could put a link to our website, whatever it is, or the chapter meeting page. You can add links. You can put images in here. I mean, you could do a lot, y'all. And here's the other thing, right? So you can put as many emails as you want in here, and it could be up to 30 days in between the emails. So if you want him to reach out once a month, you can put 12 in here with 30 days in between. So it's pretty amazing what you can do because he can keep in touch with your people. He's keeping in touch and hopefully having a conversation. If he responds and you're like, Eva, take them out of the leads list because now they're a client or they booked a coaching session with you or whatever. You don't need them to get that. Or maybe you can keep them in there because you're like, I just want to follow up and check in and see how they're doing every 30 days. You can do whatever you want with this, y'all.
So are you saying Stan, let's say you've gone through a couple emails, you're on email 3 to one of these new leads. Are you saying that if someone on email 3 replies, Stan would reply to them?
No, Eva would draft a reply to them in the email, assuming you have her set up for that particular workspace.
And in the brain, you have told Eva, if someone replies to one of Stan's email sequence emails, I want you to tell him to pause any future emails to that person and draft a reply for me to review?
Yes. I think the draft is going to be automatically done if you have that set for Eva, but if not, then you would tell her to draft it.
I think the main thing, though, is like you have to make sure she knows to tell Stan to pause, because otherwise you're going to have...
Yeah, if someone's
going to just keep getting emails and think you're not paying attention.
Yeah. Or tell Stan, if they check with Eva, and if they ask you to come off the list, then please stop, please remove them from the leads list. And that would be, you'd put that in the brain to Stan and Eva. And so they both understanding that amongst themselves.
Okay.
And so this becomes a sales machine, you all. Imagine if you're a speaker and you've got a link to your bio. Or imagine if you just I just want to feed people added value content for 2 of the emails. You can have Penny write a blog for you that you pop into one of these emails. You can grab the picture and you can just copy and paste it in here. I haven't played with tell Penny to set up an email in the sequence. I haven't played with that yet. I would still just do it manually to make sure it works out well. But there's a lot of things you guys can do to establish yourself credentially. So these are new leads, let's assume. And you're like, hey, here's an article I wrote about so-and-so. I hope it can add value or, help you be more productive or whatever. There's more than just emails you can put in these email sequences. You can make them almost like mini e-blasts. Put an image in there, put a link in there, put that in there if you've got a conference coming up. I'm going to be setting up the Up Level and Rise sponsor stuff. So I have a one-sheeter they can download. I just have to have it linked outside of this and put the link in there. I can send them right over to the sponsor page, and he could just be doing that for me. And then Eva's like, oh, someone said they don't want to be contacted. Take them off the list. No problem. He's going to get new leads to put in there and just keep that machine going.
I just want to make sure we got this straight all the way. So Stan, it's say we're looking for a sponsor. Okay. We tell Stan that he's going to find sponsors that fit the description. He brings the lead over. We put them in an email sequence with the goal of getting them to sponsor the event, right? So yes. In your email sequence, that's what the emails are talking about. And then if they respond, then cool. Then we can just close the deal on it. And then you just keep that going. And then you could potentially put that sponsor into another email sequence that is saying thank you or telling about what the company is about on an ongoing basis through these owners through the email sequence based upon them kind of opting in.
But that's going to be on your actual email list. So you're still going to have a system, if I'm understanding.
I take them out of this system, the email, and put it into my other e-list that's sending the blogs.
Exactly. Once they become a sponsor, they're on they're in there. Stan has done his job, and now you're interacting with them as a sponsor in your off Marbleism e-list.
I'm off Marbleism. Okay, got it.
Yep.
Right.
And so then another thing, you all, is let's say you want Linda to search some things. Linda is a legal assistant. I wish I had this up. Let me see if I can pull this up. Nope, that is the wrong one. Hold on. I have, here's the one I'm looking for. All right. I don't know if you guys are following this. I may have to stop the share and reshare again. Hold on real quick. Let me get the right one in the background here. So I'm going to show you what I did with my brother's screen printing business. All right, let me make sure I did this right. Whoops. Let me get to the right one, y'all. All right, let me share this. So check this out. So I have in my brother's, because I'm the COO for all 5 of his businesses. And so what I was trying to do, because he has a new screen printing business, and we want to go for all of the musicians, comics, entertainers in the Pacific Northwest area. So we've activated the stand here. Okay, now you can see me. So we've activated the stand to look for business to business. And that sequence is set up to introduce Inc. and all of that, Nate Jackson Inc. And then, and he's telling you guys like what he's reaching out for. So we have that. But I was like, I want to now in the same workspace utilize and go find entertainers, which I don't have Stan doing that. So now I've jumped over to Linda. Oh, no, I didn't. I jumped over to Eva, y'all. And I said, Eva, I want to find, let me go back up. Sorry, y'all. This is amazing. I want to find the top 100 speakers, entertainers, musicians, bands, comics, and go back through Super Funny Comedy Club, which is my brother's comedy club, and get every contact information for every comic that has been there in 2 years. And now guess what, you all? Eva has worked with Linda and Sunny or whoever she worked with in the back, Linda and Stan in the background. This is a whole other list for me. And I can do one of 2 things. I can take these, I can change what I want Stan to reach out to. I could start a new workspace and automate it. But what I'm doing is I am going to get these into my CRM and work them, because we have a system once they decide they want a t-shirt order. But I don't want Stan talking to these people. I want to handle these differently. Mm-hmm. But what's so amazing is I said, go out and get me the emails for them. And I have another very focused set of leads here. And I haven't decided if I'm going to redo my Stan email e-blast, because I think I'm going to keep that business to business. But these are a whole other set. And I have a whole other list before this of about another 100 comics that had come through Super Funny Comedy Club.
But and these were emails you didn't have before?
These are ones I don't have before, and they're not in my Stan because I have Stan going business to business.
Right.
So I get to decide now, do I want to automate this through Stan and say, hey, Stan, can you add this to the leads? I can say, can you add all of these to Stan's leads, Eva? I can do that and have her Stan lead them. And now they're in that mix, you all, getting that e-blast. And so now you're not just limited to what Stan's doing. Let's say you want to go after something very specific that may not be in the Stan guidelines. You can still have Eva research stuff for you and pop it over into Stan. But to me, I want to write a different email sequence for my entertainers.
Wow. So what are you going to do? A new workspace?
New workspace, right?
I think I'm going to do a new workspace. Yep. I wasn't planning to, but I was blown away with how quickly and how many it got me, and it did that.
Yeah.
That was
now
crazy.
It becomes like really cultivating. I think I need more training on cultivating my e-list now.
Well, hey, I'll bring it. But this is just, I'm just showing you how you all can use all of your different employees to be building your list. You can pop them into Stan. You can do whatever you want with them. You can tell her, hey, Eva, make this into a table. She can't do a spreadsheet, but she can get it ready for you to just copy and paste into a spreadsheet and do whatever you want with them. And what I think I'm going to do is export these into my close, because I set up a close for my brother's Inc. and I can send an email template to them. I think that's what I'm going to do, so I can email them all at once.
That
But
is
I was blown
amazing.
away by this. So
No, that's amazing. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
yes. And so just because Stan isn't doing it, you can still go in and say, okay, I have Stan working over here in this workspace. I need this. And so, and if I go further up, it's crazy. I have, let's see. At first, I just asked it for the names. So I was like, wait a minute, I need the names and the emails. Went back, got me the emails. And if I go further up here, this is crazy, right? If I go up here, these are all the emails. I said, put in a chart every comic that has been to Super Funny Comedy Club for the last 2 years. And that's what it sent, or that's what it sent me. So now I can follow up and say, hey, I'm Nate's sister Ericka. And I want to do that a little differently. Other than it just being the info at Nate, I want to do something more personal. So now I can say, because we should be doing every single one of these entertainers' t-shirt screen print needs. And now I can decide what I want to do with them.
Yes. Oh. Okay, yeah. So as you start getting more and more leads and contents, it just opens up the realm of ideas as to marketing and sales and items and just
what I'm going to do with them. Yep. But I have some, I call it famous adjacent cred, right? Because I'm like, hey, I'm Nate's sister. So I don't want to just pop these into a random Stan thing unless I really change it, right? Look, they've already updated a new version. So now I can do whatever I want with this.
But you could also, like, you may decide to do a new workplace, but like you're saying, you may just put these into close. You could still use the Marbleism team to draft an email, but you would use that in your other system because you don't want it to be the Stan type of automation. You could still actually have it be an automation, but it might be over in your other system, right?
I want to email all these people at once. Stan does them one at a time every 5 minutes between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. every day.
Okay, that's a key distinction. Okay.
And typically 30 a day. And I'm like, I need to figure out what platform to put these people on to reach out to all of them with an eBlast personal message. Because out of I don't know, what is this, 50 or 60, I should be able to close some of these pretty quickly to get some t-shirt orders because they all know my brother. They've all been to his club.
This is amazing.
So all that to say, you all, there's so much that we can do to have it become a 24/7 sales machine for us. Obviously, you can do what you want inside the workspace, but if you've got, you can do a lot of stuff by just having it gather that, put it in a table for you, pop it into a spreadsheet, and do what you want. And they could get phone numbers too if you have a salesperson you want them calling. And so you've got Stan working, you've got your team, getting more for you, whatever you want. I can certainly go back in and put them all into Stan as well and change the eBlast. The only reason I'm not doing that with those is because it'll only do one email every 5 minutes. It is set up to sound like you and communicate like you. So, what other questions? I know some of you guys are on mute, but I was on someone else's call the other day and I just listened. I was learning so much, but do you have questions? And getting this stuff set up, it always comes back to how much time should I set aside for this? I think that, it's worth an hour to just put an hour on setting up each Stan. It'll take you more time depending if you have other back end, like I have one-sheeters I'm designing to want to link in, but I would say it's an hour. Once you have everything ready to go, you should be able to get these out pretty quickly. And remember, you're not always asking for the sell, you're adding value. Use Penny to have you write a blog post so they can see you as a credible expert. And they're getting some information that's going to help them. Then the next eBlast, it's informing them of something. Then the third one or so. Same rules apply, you all. Add value for every 3 emails that you're doing an ask.
So you're saying in that email sequence, the first one should be an add value?
I believe so. an introduction and an add value. This is what I do. Check me out here, and here's a little something for you. It could be your freebie. It could be whatever it is. I just think people ask for my time too quickly, and it annoys me. Date them a little bit, right? Date them a little bit in that email sequence. Don't be asking them for intimacy too soon. It's the same thing. And intimacy is when they're opening their wallet for your products or services. So you want to let them get to know you, let them see that you're credible, build that trust.
Got it.
All right, good people. Any other questions? Is that helpful? And I didn't even get into the fact that Stan is all up in your LinkedIn sending connections for you. So you can also have him, follow up for those who's actually said something to you in LinkedIn. And we'll do that another time.
You mentioned that briefly, that if you link him to your LinkedIn, you also add parameters and he'll look for connections.
Yes. And so next month, let me just open this up here real quick. I need to share real quick again. Next week, not month. Let me tell you the topic we're doing. Let me get to the right slide here. So we're going to deal with leads generation next week, not month, you guys. Sorry, we're doing this every month. And so we'll be dealing with, this week was creating a 24/7 sales machine. And next week, we're going to deal with automating your leads follow-up. So today was the initial, getting everything set up, the initial thing. Next week, we'll dive into what some of those other menu items mean. I'll study those a little bit further in Stan, and how do we get him to respond inside of our LinkedIn. One of our members were able to do that. And then you're not just following up your immediate leads generating, but you're actually having them follow up for you. And setting up it's amazing what we can do. And then the 21st, we will go through how do you use Eva more as your chief of staff, executive assistant, and we'll talk more about how to use her across multiple workspaces. And some of the things we touched on today, we'll do a deeper dive. So you guys, of course, are welcome back. Please feel free to invite people. If you don't have Marbleism yet, please grab it. We've got 25% off using our link. So please use the link. I'll pop that in the chat real quick. And then I will also pop in the chat what I do need you to do if you want to come back next week, because I have it automated in my calendar system. It automatically generates a new link every week. So it's not the same Zoom link. All you have to do is click on this, your AI team link through my Kartra, and it'll get you set up for that particular session. You guys are welcome to come back as much as you need, ask your questions, and hope you got everything you needed today to take it to the next level, at least for the next week. I'll stay on if anybody else has any questions. We're a few minutes over, but if anybody else has any questions, I'll stay on another couple minutes. But with that, that's what I had for y'all today. I hope that's helpful so you can ask your questions, and we'll do a deeper dive into leads follow-up next week.
Thank you, Ericka. That was so very helpful. See you, ladies.
Bye.
Ruby, Sandra, you guys okay? You got what you needed?
Yes, everything was very helpful. It's just taking in all the information.
I know, right? And realizing you have these things at your fingertips and inviting you to just go as deep as you want with them. And they always say, Ruby, I went to the conference and it's push them. They're push them, because we've set them up to do more than we're currently doing. And so continue to ask them to do more. They each have the equivalent of 120 PhDs. So if you need anything, push them.
I will. I'll see you next week. I'm going to do next week's meeting as well.
Sounds good. We'll see you then.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Hey, Darlene. You're pondering, honey. What's going on? You're muted.
Well, I'm just taking it all in. It's amazing. This is exactly what I needed, especially as far as setting up my sequences and getting emails out. I was really kind of struggling with that. And I also took the class I told you guys about last week I took that yesterday and Monday and Tuesday, and what I found is what she was teaching, Marbleism has already done for you.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah.
That is
Marbleism has already done. She actually shows you how to set up your agent as opposed to your agent already being set up and then you telling it what to do.
And I think that's really profound. Thank you. Because I haven't looked into other people's stuff. I just know we got something that is.
Yeah,
it was fascinating. There was a guy at the conference that he does high-level Claude app creation through AI. He's like, this is the best out on the market. I've never seen anybody come close to what you all have set up. But one of the things that this founder talked about at the conference when we were there last month is that they're not just agents, they're employees. And what he did is he took them to the next level because an employee will anticipate your need. And I was like, woo! So that's profound. That's good to know.
Right. Yeah, it's a lot more. Marbleism is already a lot more advanced in what they're teaching. So I was like, wow. Okay.
I just think it does a number on you because they use cartoons. We somehow.
Oh yeah, I hate.
Yeah, my brother's like, they shouldn't be using these cartoons. This is a master level, and so you think it's play,
it's
but then you're like, oh, wait a minute. Yeah, so if you can get over the cartoony thing.
Yeah.
They were trying to do them like superheroes.
Yeah, I did.
But but if you can get over the cartoony thing, it's like, wait a minute, this thing is incredible.
Yeah, because I'm seeing a lot of those on Facebook and stuff now. People, and I said, oh, they must have went to the AI agent meeting.
Fascinating. Yeah. So I love it. And then they're going to just continue to do better. That's why I'm like, let me hurry up and master my Marbleism and get my stands executed. And we'll keep it moving.
Right.
So awesome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this.
Any questions? Keep a note. Feel free to email me. I'll send out the copy of this. But otherwise, you're always welcome to come back. And just because we're doing a topic doesn't mean you can't get other questions answered.
Okay.
All right. Have a good day and a great weekend. All right.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.